welcome to the Toffee Blue Extra Show, your midweek extra source of all things Everton. We're back this week and I'm with Paul again. Welcome, Paul.
Hiya, Tom, mate. Great to be back, mate.
Let's crack on. How are you doing? What have you been up to this week?
This week, just been getting back in the gym, trying to get a bit fitter. I've let myself go the last few months watching the Blues, and I've got to get a bit leaner. So, been in the gym 3 times. Going to go again tomorrow. And other than that, not much really. Playing Football Manager. That's finally arrived. The new one. I'm up till December on it. My first season. I've got to the League Cup semi-final. My first game on it. My first game as manager was against Liverpool at Anfield, and I managed to rob a draw off them in real life. Honest to God, I got absolutely hammered, and it was a carbon copy of what happened there last season when Rooney scored a penalty. I just hung on for dear life, robbed a shady goal, and then boiled red piss and took my point and got my reign as manager on this Football Manager game off to a good start. So, yeah, playing Football Manager and working and just trying to get a few pounds off.
Yeah, I have to call you Paul Allardyce.
I'm not that fat, mate.
No, I mean because of the management, not because of the hair, not because of the weight, because of the Football Manager.
No, not for the belly or the microwave head.
No, not for being the gravy man, of course. But yeah, that's decent. Marko Arnautovic. There's been some talk about Arnautovic that's come out during the international break. Whether it's one of those international break rumours that just comes out because no one has anything to report, we're not sure. But it does seem quite legitimate because it was an interview with 442, a legitimate source, coming from the brother of Marko Arnautovic, who was also his agent, who basically came out and said that he's open to a move to the big clubs, basically. And he named a few clubs, including Everton, and he said Everton were interested, and that Marko might be interested in coming in the future. So that's basically what started this speculation. And then Manuel Pellegrini's come out today. I'm speaking on Thursday. So yeah, Pellegrini's come out in his press conference and he said basically he might be thinking about a move to the bigger clubs basically, but he's happy where he is. So it's lovely to hear a West Ham manager admit that Everton are a bigger club anyway. So that's great because the fans don't seem to think so, but obviously we know it. But that's the story with Arnautovic anyway. Do you think there's anything to these rumours, Paul?
Probably not. I mean, I think there's something to the rumours that he wants out to West Ham and that he feels he's outgrown them. But is there anything in him coming here? I wouldn't think so because, I mean, I think he's a good player and I think he's good enough to be a squad player in a top 6 team. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I don't think he'd walk into any top 6 sides. I don't even think he'd walk into our side, really? Personally. I mean, I would like him if he was offered and it was the right sort of deal, but I think he's one of these players who suits being a big fish in a small pond.
Yeah.
I mean, there's questions about his attitude. I think he's one of these people who he kind of likes to be the person who the manager builds around type thing. If a team's going to be swapped around and accommodated, it should be swapped around and accommodated for him. Whereas if he goes to a top 6 club, they're not going to change the way they play just to get the best out of him. And I don't think we changed the way we play to get the best out of him. But I think he cost an absolute bomb. You know, he would. West Ham would charge a club through the nose for him because they know if they sell him, their notoriously prickly fan base will go absolutely crazy. Do you know what I mean? Just anything will set that fan base off. And if they sell their main shirt seller, every West Ham kid's favourite player, basically their main source of goals in their team, when you look at it, they're going to want to sell him for an absolute king's ransom. And I think we could probably afford to pay that, but we're not going to. We're not going to spend 60, 70 million on Marko Arnautovic when he's not going to walk into our team. Whereas someone like the United, if they're desperate by January time, if they're still not in the top 4 and Jose's not getting results, or if someone like, I don't know, maybe Arsenal, maybe if Arsenal haven't quite broke through the top 4, back into the top 4, and they've got a lot of games coming up, like Europa League, they could look at him and think, yeah, he's worth bringing in. So, yeah, I think there's something in these rumours. I think Arnautovic clearly wants out to West Ham. He wants to go play for a club playing in Europe. Clearly feels that he's at that level. But I don't really think Everton are in the conversations for him. I think that's maybe just his agent or his brother, whoever it is who said these comments. I think that's just him throwing clubs' names out there, hoping that some conversations can start. Because saying that, Arnautovic has used us to get a better deal somewhere else before. Do you remember a few seasons ago when he was at Stoke and we got linked with him quite heavily?
Yeah,
and it turned out there was nothing ever in it at all. It was literally just to put other clubs on notice, thinking, oh, well, if you want Arnautovic, you better get in now, because Everton are one of these clubs that are knocking on the door for him. They're going to offer him a contract, and I don't think we ever even bid for him. I don't think there was any serious talk about it. So it just seems like it's a trick that's worked for them once. The way they're using it again, just throw Everton's name in there. They've got money, and some other club that he clearly fancies more will pick the phone up and make the move.
Yeah, definitely. I can see him doing that, to be honest. It's obviously been done before, hasn't it? But to be honest, I think I'd rather see Arnautovic go to Man U and Lukaku lose his place to Arnautovic up front than see him at Everton. I think, from a wider point of view, that's definitely what I'd rather see. But I think he's got like 3 years left on his contract or something. So obviously, as you said, he'll go for quite a price, with West Ham being tricky customers as well. It would be quite pricey, and it's not really urgent at Everton at the moment, so we don't really need him. So I can't see us forking out that much for him. And he's getting on. I think he's like 29, 30. He's not the youngest player. I wouldn't say he's getting on, but he's not in his younger years, so he's not got 10 years left, has he, in his prime. So it's a funny one, really. He seemed like a bit of a late developer, because he wasn't the player he is now at Stoke. He never really, maybe on and off, seemed to hit the heights at Stoke that he did, because there was a bit of friction with Mark Hughes as well at the time. I know he had a bit of arguments with the manager, and his attitude to me didn't seem right. So I don't think, for that reason, I wouldn't like to see him in Everton share, because I wouldn't want to see him causing friction within the squad at the moment, where the squad dynamic is absolutely perfect at the moment. And I think Marko Arnautovic might possibly damage that. I don't know if you agree with that, but I just think he's a bit of a player. He may be a little bit inconsistent as well.
Yeah, he's one of those players. We've had a few of them over the last few years, haven't we? Morales was probably the main one. You could argue Vlasic is one.
Yeah.
Who were some other people? I mean, I'm not saying this to just outright slag these players off, but they're the type of players where they've kind of got this attitude of, well, I want to play the way I want to play, and if the manager doesn't agree with it, then you can get stuffed, type thing. And you can't typically have that attitude, especially when you're going to go to a big club. I mean, it's clicking for him at West Ham, because Moyes converted him last season to a striker, and as I said earlier on, Moyes just realised that he was the most talented player in that group of players that he had to work with last season, and thought, right, I've just got to build this team around him. Everything's got to go through him. Yeah. And it worked for him. I mean, I don't even think it was that way at Stoke, was it? When he was at Stoke, they had a couple of other good players, like Shaqiri was there, I think. They have Joe Allen as well.
Yeah, at that point they had Boyan, and they had Afellay. Yeah, they had a few good little players.
Yeah, he wasn't the only star on the stage at Stoke, whereas he sort of was at West Ham, really, especially last season when they were desperate and they were so poor. So I think he's one of those people, as you said, he likes to be made to feel important type thing. If a manager's going to pin it, the type of approach that some managers have, where it's like, I'm going to have you up against the wall and I'm going to really dress you down, and you're going to do it my way or the highway. It just doesn't work on a player like that, I don't think. And sometimes that approach is needed. Now, I don't think Silva's that type of manager at all, but there is going to be times when there's going to be games where certain players don't perform, and Silva's going to have to really get the message across to them that you were poor there and you really need to shape up. And certain players are not going to take kindly to that, but if you're one of those people who don't take kindly to that, e.g. Ross Barkley, it happened notoriously with him, got told to start delivering and he started sulking. Yeah. I don't want any more of that. If you're not willing to take constructive criticism on board, then I don't really want to see you lining up for Everton.
Yeah, definitely. I completely agree. I think he would change the dynamic. So for me, I wouldn't, to be honest, for the price that we'd have to pay for him, I'd say no. Just to sum it up for us, would you agree that you don't want him, or would you want him at Everton?
I'd be willing to have him if Silva wanted him, type thing, and he was gettable, because I think we're at that point now where everyone still trusts Silva and Brands. If they went out and wanted to get him, then yeah, I would be willing to give it a go and see if it works. But I just don't see that happening because of what you said. He's on the older side. He's going to be 30 before the end of the season. He's not got the best track record when it comes to behaving himself sort of thing. You know, he seems like one of those players. He's always got a stupid red card in him. Do you know what I mean? He's going to lash someone with an elbow, or he's going to fly in with his studs, or just something like that. He's got a bit of a loon streak. So he's old. He's got a bit of a self-destructive side to his personality. He's going to cost an absolute fortune. You know it.
Yeah.
You know, West Ham, the way they are, the way their owners are, bad knobheads, the way their fans love them, they're going to demand just stupid money from him. I wouldn't even be shocked if they did something similar to what Dynamo Kiev used to do with Ukraine. Yeah. What Dynamo Kiev used to do with Yarmolenko, whenever anyone used to come for Yarmolenko, their owner, because he was that much of a lunatic, would just he'd go over the clubs that were offering him with a fine-tooth comb. No, I don't believe you're the right club for this player. I'm not even going to open negotiations with you. It's like, well, it's not up to you to decide what kind of club we are. Here's the money. Do you want the deal or do you not want the deal? How does the player think? Because I could see West Ham's owners kind of doing that. If we did go and offer them 60, 70 million quid for Arnautovic, I could imagine those owners turning around and thinking, Everton are our rivals. We're not silent to one of our immediate rivals. Now, I know for a fact, and we all know that they are not our immediate rivals, but that's just to say the sense of idiocy they've got. So, Arnautovic, if he goes anywhere, I think, as you mentioned earlier on, I think United's probably his best bet, you know.
Yeah.
Because, especially in another month, given another month or two, if results are still not going their way and they are really starting to panic, I can see Jose just splashing out a big load of money if he's able to, because I know he didn't get any money to spend in the summer. But if United give Jose the money to spend in January to try and put out some fires and get them playing again, I can see Jose just panic buying someone like Arnautovic and dropping Lukaku for a while, because Lukaku's bang out of form, and Arnautovic is a player who, when he plays up top, he will work and he will run, just everything Lukaku won't do.
Yeah.
So, no, to sum up, no, I don't think Everton are in for him. I don't think we're going to spend the money on him, even if we were interested. But if it just came out of the blue that we did go in for him, I would trust Silver and Brands, but I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, me too. It looks like a no from us. On your bike, Marko, son. Off you go. No, we'll be open to it. Obviously, we'll trust Brands and Silver if that's what they decide. And if they've sent scouts out anyway, because there must be, obviously no smoke without fire. There must be something to it. But it'll be an interesting one to see in January whether we make a move for him. So we'll wrap it up there anyway. Thanks for watching. Make sure you give us a follow on social media or Twitter tanks are below. And comments and subscribe. But comment what you think of Marko Arnautovic as well, and whether you'd like to see him at Everton, because we want to know. So make sure you let us know. And thanks for watching. Make sure you tune in next time on the Toffee Blues.